Hi everyone, welcome to Human Relation Skills in Counseling, MHS4052, in the fall semester of 2012. I'm very excited to teach this course and get to know all of you, albeit virtually, but this is going to be an exciting journey for all of us. I look forward to learning with you and learning from you, and hopefully teaching you along the way as well. I wanted to briefly go over the syllabus with you just to clear up any questions that may not be clear, or give you the opportunity to just hear me kind of explain what I'm looking for through the assignments and through the syllabus. And I won't take too much of your time. I know that it's important and precious, but I did just want to hit some of the highlights so that you are very clear on what I'm asking and what the assignments are all about and the schedule and things like that. So let me briefly give you a bio on me, and you will get to know me a lot more as the semester goes on, of course, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of who I am and why I'm here. Again, my name is Brenna Hicks, and I am a doctoral student in the counselor education program. I'm also a graduate of the master's program at USF, so have been around a while, and I'm currently a stay-at-home mom. I have an almost 3-year-old, and I'm in the doctoral program. But previous to closing my practice, I ran a private practice called The Kid Counselor, and that was in Pinellas County, and I specialized in play therapy, and I only worked with children aged 2 to 15. So you will certainly hear a lot more about that part of my life and my experiences and my background in the play therapy and the counseling world. And then, of course, you will, I'm sure, hear stories about my husband and my son as well. So maybe my dog thrown in there, I'm not sure. But we will certainly get to know each other better. And so that's just a very brief introduction, and I look forward to learning about who you are as I read your first posts as well. So I will not waste any more of your time. Let me just briefly go through, and I'll hit the highlights of the syllabus. So my contact information is at the top, and the emergency phone number, you can call me. I am trying to be very diligent about blocking time for you. So my plan is when my son takes a nap in the afternoon, that is when I will answer phone calls, answer emails, check the forums, and just kind of touch base with all of you as far as what you may be asking or wondering about, things like that. So if you call or email late at night or early in the morning, please just anticipate that it may be the afternoon before you hear back from me. If you don't hear back from me by the end of that next day, then I probably didn't get it for whatever reason. So resend or recall or whatever you need to do to try again, because I will be diligent about checking Monday through Friday in the afternoons when he takes a nap. My email address is on there. You're more than welcome to email me. Sometimes it's easier to email me, sometimes it's easier to post it in the forum, so I'm really okay with either one. Your required text, Gamble and Gamble. It's called Contacts, Interpersonal Communication in Theory, Practice, and Context. A really great book. It is about 6 years old or so at this point, but I've looked through a lot of texts and I've looked through a lot of options, and this is by far the best. I've also gotten very positive feedback from students that have taken this course previously. So it's a very easy to read book. It's not very technical, so there's not a lot of difficult passages and jargon. There's lots of images and graphics and pictures and activities, so it's engaging, it's not boring, and it's really the best I can do as far as keeping you engaged in your text. I mean, texts are never really wonderful to read, but it's going to be the best of the lot. So that is your book. That's the only one. And if there are any other supplemental things that I'd like you to look at, I will post them. And so that's the only thing that you're required to purchase as far as the text go. And speaking of, I'm sure most of you all are aware of this. Maybe I'm just the dinosaur catching on now, but I actually just rented my textbooks this semester from Amazon. They're doing a rental program now, and you can rent the book for about 70% off of the list price, and then you just return it for free at the end of the semester. So if that would be a good option for you, I mean, honestly, this is a good enough text that you could keep it and reference it in the future in other classes, in your workplace. So I actually think you should buy it and keep it, but if money's tight or whatever the issue is, that might be an option for you to rent it. Okay, moving on. Course objectives and course policies, I'm going to just skim over that, and you're more than welcome to read those if you choose. If not, that's understandable. Student performance and criteria for evaluation is the next section. I've worked really hard to break this down into a step-by-step syllabus so that everything is very spelled out and very clear. I understand from teaching this course online previously and also from being in online classes myself, it's challenging sometimes when you don't have the face-to-face opportunity to ask questions one-on-one. It's hard to maybe understand exactly what's being required of you in an online class. So I've worked very hard to do step-by-step, item-by-item outlines, guidelines, everything that I can do to make it very clear for you. So I actually broke down each individual section with a brief explanation and what that portion of your grade is. So participation, you're expected to take part in the discussions and activities, etc. And, obviously participation is normally in a classroom face-to-face setting where you interact and you're engaged in the classroom process. What that means as far as our course online is that you are posting and that you are engaged in the online discussion. So reflection journal, you will be asked to do a reflection journal each week, and basically this is a link in the Blackboard system. You will see reflection and you will click on that each week. Each week will open a new section, so it's not like it's one continuous reflection journal. Each week there will be a new link for week 1, week 2, week 3, and basically you are asked to share your thoughts about the reading, the lecture, and what those may have done for you, what questions you may still have, what thoughts it brought to the forefront. Whatever you want to share, I will often also give you an activity in the lecture, and so the reflection and the activity will be in one post. And it will be more clear once we get into it. You'll know exactly what I'm asking, but basically each week the examples in the syllabus say what conclusions did you draw, what major questions remain, what did you learn. So really it's just kind of your overall impression of the topic, the chapter, the lecture, things like that. And then activities will be made very clear in the lecture. This week I want you to do, and then you will include that in with your reflection post. Communication essay or meeting review. Well, actually, let me back up briefly. The reflection journal, you only have to do one per week. When I taught this face-to-face, I met 2 times a week. So we did Monday and Wednesday morning or Tuesday, Thursday morning. So actually students were doing 2 reflections a week. Because I've condensed the lecture into one lecture video, you will only have to do 1 reflection, even though it's actually 2 classes worth of information. So I just wanted to be clear about that, because sometimes in the lecture you'll see that I jump to what would have been the second portion of the lecture, but that's still all considered 1 week's worth of information in the online class. Okay, communication essay or meeting review. This also used to be something that they had to do both of. But because it's online and because there's a lot more weekly interaction, I've tried to condense it a little bit for you and make it a little more manageable as far as extra assignments. So for this one, you will choose one or the other, the communication essay or the meeting review. And basically what I'm asking for in that will be discussed a little bit later and I'll go into it, but both of them are just going to be based on what we've learned. It'll be later on in the semester and you just apply what we've learned to the criteria that I've given. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Midterm and final, there is no midterm in the class, yay, for both of us, and the final exam will be over the entire semester's worth of material. And I've given you what types of questions may be included. You'll get a lot more information as we get closer to the end, and you'll also be given a study guide for that so that you can best prepare for the final. Okay, personal growth portfolio. What this used to be in the classroom setting was more of a scrapbook type of project. It wasn't always done in a scrapbook fashion. Guys typically aren't really into scrapbooking, but I found that a lot of students chose to make an actual scrapbook portfolio type of assignment. Because we're doing this online, we've had to tweak it a little bit, and this is basically going to demonstrate what you have learned throughout the entire semester. And if you're diligent and if you are consistent with thinking about it and adding little bits of information that you learn here and there along the way, at the end it will be very easy to compile it. It will be a little more difficult if you wait until the last week and try to do it all at once. But basically what this is, every step along the way, through your reflections, through your assignments, through your activities, through everything that we do in the discussion boards, you will be able to answer the questions that I'm asking for the portfolio, and then you give me a final representation of everything that you've gleaned from the class. And it's really designed to be a continual process. So it allows you to somewhat assess where you've been, where you're going, what your goals are. And so everything that we do in the class all pours into this final portfolio. Now you might ask, okay, if we're not doing an actual scrapbook portfolio type of thing, what does that mean? I've had students give me keynotes. For those of you with Macs, for those of you, the rest of you, you can use PowerPoint, of course. And you can also do a video. I've had people narrate videos. I've had people hand in DVDs that they've created. So really it's up to you, but I want it to be a reflection of, first of all, your personality, of your creativity, and of what you've learned, because this is almost the capstone project for the entire course. And finally, quizzes, 100 points, and they will be pop quizzes. You will not know they're coming. You will get an announcement that says the quiz is available, and you will usually have about 48 hours to take it, and it will only be on that week's reading. So that is how the pop quizzes will work, and they will amount in total to 100 points at the end. Okay, and there's your grading criteria. You can see how it all breaks down. It's a 1,000-point course, so you have 100 points for each grade range, which that makes it nice because it's not so much of a worry if you lose a few points here and there. Okay, course schedule. I don't really need to cover that very much other than to say, as you can see, I have it listed by the week. So the week of August 27th, that is Monday, the first day of classes. Because we are an online course, the only way that I can count attendance for you is if you post that first week. So the way that I'm taking attendance is that you get your post in to me by Friday of that first week. So typically the week goes from Monday to Sunday night. And as you can see, week 2, September 3rd, is chapter 2. So it goes by chapter by week all the way down. Just to point out, there is no class the week of October 8th, which no class for us basically means no reflection posts and no activities that need to be posted. You will not need to watch a lecture for that week, and you will not need to do reading for that week. And that is designed, first of all, it's helpful to me. I have a conference that I'm presenting at. But second of all, 2 weeks later, your communication essay or your meeting review is due. So ideally, I'm giving you that week so that you can prepare and work on that assignment that's due, so that you're not trying to do lectures, readings, posts, reflections, activities, and then try to cram in your assignment. So that is a week free of all of the other things so that you can work on that. And then obviously we have Thanksgiving, which we will not meet. And then we have your presentation due, your portfolio presentation due, and then your final exam the week of December 10th. And we'll talk about all those as we get closer. Okay, now, early on when I taught this course face-to-face in the classroom, I got a lot of feedback from students that it was difficult to do some of these assignments that are so, deep and a lot of information goes into them, and not knowing how far to go with it, what to include, etc. So as a result of their feedback and their thoughts, I really have given you very specific outlines and guidelines for every single assignment that you're going to do. So let me be clear. There are some students who have had the impression in the past that this course is a lot of work. It requires a lot of investment. It's not a lot of work. I just want to be clear, if you follow what I've given you in the syllabus, it's not difficult. You give me what I'm asking for and you will do well, and I will feel like you gave me the assignment that I was looking for. The students that struggle the most are the ones who tend to try to interpret what I'm asking. They try to give me their own spin on things, or they don't follow it at all. And those are the students who do not do well and struggle to get good grades. Basically, if you follow the outline that I've given you, That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's also how I will grade you. Your grading rubric comes directly from the outlines and guidelines that I've given you. So I'm really handing you, your ticket to a good grade in this class. If you just do exactly what I'm asking in the syllabus, that's what I'm going to grade you on in the assignment. So there's really kind of a set plan. If you follow it, we'll both be happy. So the personal growth presentation, I'm not going to go into it, just hit some highlights. I do want you to be creative with it. This is something that I learned the hard way. If I'm not very clear about expectations, I get, mediocre work. So there's an FYI at the bottom. I'm expecting more than just text answers for this assignment. It's very easy to just write up a piece of paper with a whole bunch of text answers to questions, or fill in a PowerPoint presentation with a whole bunch of text answers. This is a final project for the entire semester. So I'm looking for texts, and that's fine, text can be in there, but I want quotes, and I want cartoons, and I want pictures, and I want fonts and colors, and I want it to represent you. I don't think you all are black and white boring people. So please show me your personality and show me your creativity as you prepare that portfolio. Now, here is the specific outline that I'm asking you for. So as you can see, there are 3 sections: Introduction and Philosophy, your Skills section, your Summary section. Now, you see 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C. Literally, that's how I'm grading you. So I want you to include, what will your presentation represent? For some reason, students think that that's rhetorical. It's not. I want you to tell me what your presentation will represent. Now, ideally, you're not going to say, it's going to represent what I've learned in this class. I know that. That's what I designed the assignment to do. So what is it to you? What does it represent to you? What did it do for you? What does it mean to you? So 1A, then you go into 1B. Describe yourself. I want to know your values, your life experiences, your significant relationships. So literally, follow the outline. That's what I'm grading you on for your portfolio. It's a pretty easy blueprint. Communication essay, again, you'll see there's an outline, 5 things that I'm asking for. And I do go into some more detail, which you can read. I won't bore you with that. But there's your outline for that. The meeting review and summary, if you're interested in this, instead of the communication essay, components of the written report, 1 through 9, they're right there. So, really, and again, getting back to your choice of the 2, I have no preference. Choose the one that's more feasible for you, more accessible for you. If you have access to a meeting, do the meeting review. That's easy. If you don't, choose the communication essay. Whatever is going to work best for you, I have no preference. And then this final page in the syllabus is the permission form, if you will, for attending the meeting. So you only need that if you are doing the meeting review. If you're not doing the meeting review, then that does not apply to you. The communication essay does not require the permission form for that. And for some reason, there's an extra page attached to the bottom. So anyway, that is the syllabus as an overview, as a whole. If you feel like I have not been clear about something, not quite covered something to your liking, please either email me, or in Blackboard, the very first link in the discussion forum is going to be general questions and comments. And so you're always more than welcome to just post something in there briefly. And like I said, every afternoon I will check that and reply. And that at least offers other students who may have the same question to check there first before they send me an email or question me further. If everyone posts to that and I can reply there, then that's available to everyone instead of a one-to-one email. So if you have anything that you want a little further clarification on, please feel free to do so. And each week you will see week 1, and you can click on that and put your reflection and your activities in there. So that should be pretty easy to get started. I do very much look forward to meeting you and getting to know you online, and I will see you very soon in week 1 lecture. Bye.